Asleep.
The dreams, they're the best.
Dreams? Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah.
The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you. No matter the weather outside, Baron Orman, Tagge, Cash Money 007, and PACIFIC414 are here to bring you the pop culture and entertainment news, rumors, watch parties, discussions, reactions, reviews, opinion on PACIFIC414 Pop Talk Sunday edition.
Weather isn't that good inside either.
Welcome, one and all. Good evening and welcome, one and all, to the Sunday edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, along with Cash Money 007 of the Fandom Hooligans, Baron Orman, Tagge of Baron Orman Tagge's Fandom Legacy. I am your host, Mike, and tonight we are joined by the Princess of YouTube. She's enjoys a lot of us, and she's here to talk about those of us that she really enjoys watching. Her favorite content when it comes to Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, and she's a big fan of all of us. Please welcome Leia Rose.
Hello, all. Woo-hoo. Hello, Pacifica, Cash Money, Baron,
Yo.
and Phil.
Phil the Pill.
Yeah, Phil
That's right.
Okay, so
Phil.
the Baron has Phil's avatar, right?
Yes, he does. And speaking of Phil, he says he's the king and legend of Pop Talk.
Yes, he is.
He's something.
Don't forget, Phil, I'm the emperor.
Correct. You are Pacific.
And of course, we have Joseph Dredd, who says just say no to Phil. And Barrett was here earlier saying no Phil zone. We also have Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank, who says, hey guys. And we also have the Wrench of Wrenches. He's also a super wrench here on this channel. It's Alan Copeland.
Yep.
And let's see, I've noticed a few other people who have popped in, one of them being the Padawannabe.
Oh, okay.
Well,
welcome to the Padawannabe.
Hello, Padawannabe.
Hello, Padawannabe.
So, Leia Rose, thank you
Yes.
for coming on with us tonight. And the first question I have for you is, how did you get involved in watching YouTube?
It was over it might be 2 years in December. My sister that passed, Diana, was a fan of the Mando and Baby Grogu. She got me involved watching Star Trek again. I mean, Star Wars. And I, EBN, Echo Based Network, was my first connection with YouTube.
Okay.
Then it was Loki, I believe Loki, Morning and Mischiefs. And then from Echo Based, Phantom Hooligans, your channel, Mike, with the connections that you have with Baron, as well as through Echo Bay's Hangar Bay. And there's several other Discords. There's so many, like maybe 8, 9 that I watch most of the time. Matt Cave. I wrench on Matt Cave and a few others.
Okay.
But through the 2 years, I've gained a lot of friends. Daryl, I can't forget the vacuum. Back tube.
Yeah, with Daryl, Darth, Arlena, Arwen,
Yes, right, and all right,
Esther,
all
and
three, and then
Steven.
Steven, right, Steven, his channel. There's so many, so many. I think there's about 10 that I watch, but only a few that I come back on every time or during the week. The days, because all you guys, all you gentlemen, stream different times, and
Mhm.
Master Paul.
Yeah, let's not forget about Paul of Fandomology.
Yes, Paul.
What is it about the ones that you tend to watch more frequently that draws you to them?
Friends I made there.
Okay.
The content, just the being together. It's like being together, and like I'm not saying at a bar, but being together and united for one cause.
Mm-hmm. And everybody does their own different content. I mean, Loki's on 5 days a week. In the mornings, he then is on in the evening on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So
Right, and there's some of Loki shows that I'm on in the evening. He has one with a Tagge Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
It's like branching. You guys, I mean, the streams themselves are like a tree. YouTube's a tree, and all of you guys are like branches. This multiverse. I'm using multiverse. Seems branching off of one timeline because it goes. One person starts a show, a stream, and then everybody knows each other. It's like having friends. Well, it is like having friends.
It is, and not everybody does their content exactly the same as
Right.
the other person.
And that's what I like, the diversity, the communication, like Phantom Hooligans. Cash is very intellectual, and along with you guys, you have a lot to offer for us viewers.
Well, I appreciate that, because there was a time where I was just expecting to get 2 subscribers. I didn't expect to be where I'm at right now. And there are also times that I think to myself, would anybody want to hear my point of view? But that's the thing. Even if you don't have a channel, you can still give your point of view in the chat.
Right. That's correct.
And you've given your point of view on quite a few things when you've come over here.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but sometimes my point of view is a bit fiery, or I come up like Pandora's box sometimes. I just
we need that. We need that point of view that kind of wakes us up to what's going on.
Right. Reality check. Well, you do a lot of before you do your content, you do a lot of investigating, cause and effect on a lot of the subjects you do.
I mean, you have to. If you're gonna cover a subject, it's like covering Star Trek, you have to have a good knowledge of what actually went on for each series, and the hookups that they might have had, the hangups that they might have had trying to get certain episodes put together. I mean, even Star Wars, that didn't go smoothly for George Lucas. He had roadblock after roadblock because people didn't think it would succeed.
Yep, I'm sure some people laughed at him too. Ha ha ha! Star Wars, yeah, okay.
Well, which is why we
I was reading in the Washington Post, and it was online, whether if Star Wars was fact or myth, fact or fiction, and they were saying that George Lucas. George Lucas. I love the dream of his content for Star Wars, that he picked out a lot from every movie, like myth or whatever. He grabbed onto the myths of certain cultures. Did you guys come across any of that? It was in the Washington Post a couple of days back.
I hadn't seen that one yet, but I know during the creation of Star Wars, he did delve deeply into history, especially World War II, considering that was still fresh in a lot of people's minds.
Mhm. If I remember, Lucas was a big fan of those samurai films too.
Right.
Mhm.
Kurosawa films he was a big fan of, as well as the serials growing up, particularly Flash Gordon, which he wanted to do, but he wasn't able to. So he went to do Star Wars itself. But yeah, he has a great knowledge in religions and folklore, mythologies, and was more than happy to wrap them all up into something we now call Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And real quick, I
Very
am going to say hello to Jet Sparks
Oh.
and the Angry Canadian. And what is it about Star Wars that you really enjoyed? And I know you were telling me in our communication back and forth that you like George Lucas's vision of Star Wars for the original 6 movies, but what is it about it that first drew you to that franchise?
Gosh, it was probably everything. The storyline, Luke, Han, Leia. I mean, the characters were bold back then. There, the scenery, how he wrote it. My favorite. I mean, oh gosh, there's a lot. Basically, it was the theme. It was different from growing up growing up in a large family. I was not the odd one, but I was the one always doing the things opposite of the other, rest of the family.
Mhm.
Always the first to climb, figure out stuff. But what I really liked about George Lucas's dream was that it was original. I mean, even though he might have gotten certain things from other movies, it was I can't say a perfect creation. I was drawn to it. I mean, the storyline itself, The New Hope, I was only, I'm not going to say my age. I was drawn to it. It was just sci-fi. It was just a movie that just kind of drew me in.
Very nice, very nice. And of the 6 George Lucas movies, do you have one that's your all-time favorite that you can watch it over and over again? And
Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Empire Strikes Back. I could watch that over and over again.
And Empire is a very good movie. One of the things I like about it is the fact that it doesn't end on a happy note. It leaves you wondering what's going to happen to our heroes.
Right. I mean, the battle scenes, the intrigue or the love story between Han and Leia, and Luke and Dagobah, Yoda, that was what drew me in also. I mean, my favorite character has always been Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi was like a father figure the time that I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, he was guiding Luke, helping him on his journey. Even as a Force ghost, he was still offering sage advice to Luke, like a father would.
right. But there was other aspects of Star Wars. So you're talking about the 6. Can you name them? I mean, not in general order.
Menace, Attack of the Clones, of course, Revenge of the Sith were the prequels. But for the OG trilogy, it was Star Wars. Then it was Empire Strikes Back, and then it was Return of the Jedi.
Okay, when they brought Anakin in, that was another. He reminded me of. I mean, of course, that's his father, Anakin Skywalker. His romance with Padme. And the intrigue with Palpatine, because nobody knew what Palpatine was. I mean, they, with Darth Maul and everything, I mean, the audience knew, but the intrigue of that. Was it going to end on a good note, and then you get Order 66 and all this?
Yeah, Palpatine is something else.
Yep, Palpatine wanted the power, and he got that power.
Right. Yeah, I think the Jedi were blinded. I mean, between the light and dark, I mean, we're human beings, but how could you live for peace and take a vow knowing that you're holding back emotion? I mean, the Jedis were like the monks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, monastery monks. I mean, everybody has dark and light in them. That's life. You got to choose which road to do. I mean, if you choose the other road, of course you're going to feel hate, anger, and all that, but that's part of life. You got to learn to balance. That's why I like The Great Jedi. I mean, even though that came out later, but with Ahsoka coming out, I mean, I'm looking forward to it also, but I have my buts. I just want to wait and see what happens. And
Yeah, I can understand that, having your reservations. You don't want to be so hyped up for something that when you actually see it, you feel let down. And then you don't want to go into it with such low expectations that...
right. That's why I'd rather just see the series and then make my opinion later. I mean, I've been Star Wars positive, just not barely keeping my positivity, but you know, come on, let's have a good one, and then see my characters burn. I'm just, well, I mean, I'll probably go with the OG, the old trilogy, you know, with the first 3 films. But you need, I mean, the characters grow, they end up passing. The Last Jedi, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm a Rey fan. But the thing is, having Luke pass that way, that really kind of like, I need to leave the theater, but I finished the film. So, I mean, Luke should have had a more, I mean, they should have went to the books. French, all this other stuff. Luke and Han and Leia had Jason and Jaina go by the young Jedi Knights, you know, instead of twisting and burning our characters.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we still have to, I mean, I still have faith in Star Wars, but I guess I will always be positive. I just don't want to be chewing on the less of the films. I'm trying to keep a positive mode, but you don't want to bring out that Pandora in me and started to burn Disney down. I'm just saying.
No, but I can understand if that's how you feel too. It's like, well, look what Disney and Lucasfilm are doing right now. They're not giving us the greatest of products, and
that's an understatement.
They're just trying to sell Star Wars cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, I mean, our characters that we care about, that we grew up with, whether from every era or, you know, it seems like it's changing politically. I mean, they're like puppets. Let them do this. Let's bring this in. What the heck is that? What is that? I mean, it throws up off course.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't even seem to care about that. And this is one thing that I'll say I'm worried about with Ahsoka is it's just, you know, is it going to be wrong? Are we actually going to see, because we know she was trained by Anakin, because we know that from the Clone Wars. But the thing is, are we going to, is it now wrong because of Disney logic to actually have a woman train a man or a man train a woman, especially a man training a woman, which, you know, shouldn't be a problem. If they're training together, they train together. But Disney seems to be this whole thing about, as you know, Leia, that Sabine is going to be the Padawan of Ahsoka, and I'm like, how the heck is that going to work?
Isn't I mean, not to interrupt you, Kat, but is she force sensitive?
I think she did use a lightsaber, if I remember, in Rebels.
She used a dark saber in Rebels.
Yeah,
right.
But should she be trained by Ahsoka? She was trained by what's his name?
Kanan.
Yeah, Kanan.
That's Ezra's master, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have pause on some of that when I watch it. What it's coming out the 23rd. It falls on what day, guys?
The 23rd is gonna
Wednesday.
be
Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday. Okay.
Midnight. It should be coming out Wednesday midnight.
And real quick, I do want to say hello to Star Wars Theology. Hello, Felix.
Hey, Felix.
Oh, Felix.
Howdy.
And I also want to say hello to Blazerhawk Darren. Welcome. So, what else about Star Wars do you like? What's one of your favorite moments of the entire 6 movies that George Lucas gave us? And
Oh, okay. The fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan on Mustafar.
Yes.
That's forever etched as one of my favorites, but that is the favorite one. Could have Anakin been saved? I mean, if it was Obi-Wan now, not to get off the subject, but aren't they talking about having a spot in Ahsoka where she's in the platform world between worlds and she sees this?
Maybe if they're
I
smart.
don't know.
No, because
Oh.
I believe Star Wars Obsession was talking about it. I don't know if he clarified it that way, but that's what I got from it.
Yeah,
If
there have been
Ahsoka was
rumors
on
saying-
Mustafar, would she have saved Anakin?
I don't know. I would just wait to see it for yourself.
Okay.
Some of these YouTubers out there, I hate to say it, they don't always have the right information, and they're so excited about a show that they're blinded by what's going to be actually going on in the show, and they think it's going
But
to be
I mean,
amazing already. Yeah.
one of I follow a lot along with everyone's channel here, Star Wars Obsessions channel.
Mhm.
You know, with that, I mean, it goes pro and con, like Cash said. I'll
Mhm.
wait and see myself too.
Right.
And real quick, I do want to say hello to Apollome's Minion. Good to see you, Apollome's. I hope you and Simi are doing well on the roads today.
Mhm.
There we
Hey,
go.
Apollo.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that the world between worlds plays some kind of factor in Ahsoka, but it is one of those things you have to see it for yourself whether it actually appears on screen or not. And
Right. But isn't there a myth that didn't George Lucas say that? Not a myth, that he said that Ahsoka's dead.
yeah, if he
Yeah.
had it
All right,
his
then
way,
if
Ahsoka would be
Ahsoka's
dead.
dead, then what are these with Ray? I'm not saying I'm a Ray fan, all right, totally a Ray fan. What is Ray doing there then? If Ahsoka died, wouldn't that change history?
Yeah, that would change history.
There wouldn't be no Ahsoka series. I mean, I like Ahsoka, all right. I'm not going to be if I'm a shill or whatever. I mean, people call me worse, but I don't really care. If she wasn't there, I mean, if George Lucas is saying that she's dead and Disney brought her back to life, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I like all the characters and all the stuff, but I do have my favorites, like Mike has said. You know, I mean, we all have favorite moments, but there's a lot of stuff about Star Wars. Good, I mean, the good aspect and the bad aspect of it, but still, I'm a fan forever. I'm trying to keep. I don't know if it's just the energy in me because I'm so hyper or high energy that it's rah 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 Star Wars all the time. But still, I don't want to say that I'm not, but I am very positive still. I'm hoping the best and not expecting the worst. But what the heck?
There's
What's next?
nothing wrong with having that, glass half full type of attitude. I'm a Cup
Mhm.
fan. I always have that glass half full
Okay.
kind of attitude.
But go ahead, Pacific. You were talking. I'm sorry if I got off.
No, you're not off topic. Again, this is all about you. It's about your likes, your dislikes. I am going to go ahead and say hello to Tim's Talk, who says my sources from Disney are the best. And Apollome's Minion is saying we are sitting in Jean, Nevada because of a tropical storm in Southern California.
Yep.
Understood.
Hillary coming through there.
Yes.
I heard parts of Las Vegas already are getting flooded out.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to Star Wars, was there anything that you wish they could have done better?
Yes. Luke's death scene to be, have him be the savior. I'm not saying that Ray's not. Rey's everything, but Luke should have been more prominent in the movie, taking her as a Padawan or whatever, and not having him killed off. The whole 3 movies should have been more. I'm like I said, I like Star Wars and I'm a big Rey fan, but still, it should have been written better.
Yes.
The characters, even the characters that are connected with them interacting, it looks like if they gave to a writer who was 3 years old, young and didn't know nothing, and basically the writers of Disney are like that. They're just trying to make money off of us, the Star Wars fandom.
Exactly.
People don't understand that. They put something on a bowl or a plate or a movie, Star Wars season 16 or whatever, and then our characters, the one that I grew up with, are being messed up. Obi-Wan, even I like Boba Fett, all right, but they aged him a lot in that, and I thought I would be, how long was he in the Sarlacc pit? Guys know that, 10 years? 20. He looked like, for the time that I seen Boba Fett fall in the Revenge of the Jedi, he must have been young, but seeing him come out looking like that, no.
They could have de-aged Tamara Morrison, and if they love to use that de-aging technology, and
they were thinking, even though I got Disney Plus for free for life, I still watch. I don't know. It's just whatever. Disney is ruining Star Wars. KK could burn in Hades, and let me light the match.
Well, see, that's the thing. You're able to access Disney Plus, so you can give your point of view on the series because you're actually able to watch the series and say, I didn't like this story because of reason A, B, and C.
Right, Boba Fett should have been the young Boba Fett or middle-aged thin Boba Fett, not Boba Fett.
Oh no, Book of Boobaloo.
Right, Book of Boobaloo.
Yeah, Book of Boobaloo. What a great
right,
show
and then with the Tusken Raiders, I didn't think the Tusken Raiders were that friendly.
It was dances.
No, they aren't.
Dances.
They're not
Tuskens.
friendly.
No, they're not friendly. They've always been a violent group.
Right, and private and not Solitude clan.
Yeah, and I know some other people in the community like that. I did not like that really at all. I'm like, they're violent by nature. What is this nonsense? What is this? Dances with Tuskens? Come on, people.
No, dances with banthas.
Dances with
Get it right,
banthas.
man.
That's good.
Get it
too.
That's
right,
a good one,
man.
Cat. Dancing with Tuskens.
I like both, Baron. I like yours too. That's good.
You should.
How many films have there been? 9?
Yes.
9 films. 9 films.
And the last 3. What year did George Lucas sell Star Wars?
2012.
9. Yeah,
2012.
And then
the world should have ended with that one.
so we had 7, 8, 9. Then we of course had. Well, I guess
I'm just counting
Solo. Yeah,
the
we're just counting
Skywalker saga.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not counting Rogue One or
right.
Solo
Right. The
or
smaller
any of that.
movies.
Yeah,
or the minor movies.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Andor. I did because of the intrigue in Andor. I enjoyed the shorts, the Disney anime.
Yes.
Only 2 of them out of the 12 or 2 out of the 10 that I liked out of all those. But still, I'm learning a lot of anime from Brandon. The anime guys is another one that I watch. I might not be on the chat, but I rewatch some of his streams. But the thing is that for the fandom of Star Wars, if something doesn't happen, someone's going to burn Disney and Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they need to do an about face.
I think they just went too far with Baby Yoda. He was fine in season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Then we have to see him in Book of Boobaloo.
Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah, and then bringing the DH Luke with Ahsoka there, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, and that episode should have been in Mandalorian season 3, not Book of Boobaloo.
Maybe I'm off with that one.
Pretty interesting.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, you got it.
Bingo.
Yeah, because they're trying to. This, you know what I think is going to happen? They're going to try to multiverse Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what they just keep doing, Leia. I mean, even across the Spider-Verse was multiverse stuff. It's just the way they do it. Oh, let's do multiverse.
And a lot of people get lost.
Marvel multiverse. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, they should have a crossover of the MCU with Star Wars. That would have been. I mean, it's an idea, but that's my own. Go ahead, Pacific. You wanted to say something else?
Well, first I do want to acknowledge Star Wars Theology with a $2 super chat. He says MTFBW. I got to look up what that stands for. He says the chat. Luke was castrated by Disney. Shame. And real quick, because you gave a $2 super chat.
I'd buy that for $1.
$2. Yeah.
Well, I don't have a $2 clip, guys.
Play that twice then.
God,
He's another character that I liked. Qui-Gon Jinn was another one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
quick,
I'm
going to play the clip.
I'd buy that for $1.
Okay.
that sounds like Baron.
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy that
What was it about Qui-Gon that you liked?
His fatherly care for Anakin as a child and trying to save him off Tatooine.
Yeah, him having that intuition that
Right.
if he trained the boy, he can prevent Anakin from going to the dark side. And we saw what happened, after Qui-Gon was killed, and Obi-Wan, yes, he did everything he could for Anakin, but it wasn't enough. Anakin still fell to the dark side.
Right, because he died and then Obi-Wan trained him, but Obi-Wan brought him up like a brother, not like a Padawan.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you see that, or anybody else? I mean, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Because
there wasn't that master apprentice there. It was always, hey, Anakin, come on, more like a brother. You can't do that. If you're a teacher, that's your apprentice. There has to be some type of demeanor, teaching him. Instead, he just brought him up like a son or like a brother. That was his fault, Obi-Wan's fault, I think. That's how I saw it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Obi-Wan did express that he felt he failed training Anakin.
Right.
In that sense, in no uncertain terms. Of course, at that time with Star Wars and such, we didn't know that the two men were actually the same, but you could kind of tell that there was regret with, Darth Vader, the princess of mine, who turned evil. You can kind of see that regret in there that he made that mistake. I think he does shoulder that burden of fault on him.
Now, there are other franchises that you're a fan of too, Leia, and one of them being Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, yes. Apollo and Starbuck drew me into that one. Drew me into the series along with the Western theme that was going on with Battlestar Galactica. Back then, it was just even though the technology was, I'm not saying the same as today, but the storyline, Adama leading a ragtag, like a cavalry out of that and having the Cylons. You would think that they should have had Caprica first, but the whole storyline, the whole episodes of Battlestar Galactica, I rewatched so many times. It was a good story.
Now, let me ask you this. There's the 1978 version of Battlestar Galactica,
the
and
original,
then there's the 2003 miniseries, which eventually became a series on its own. Of those two, do you have one that you prefer more than the other?
I still go with the old Battlestar, Adama, and the rest. The newer ones were all right, but they didn't have the story correct. It was more modern, more tech.
Mm-hmm.
But the storyline, the whole story wasn't the same as the original.
Did you feel though that the original was goofier than the remake? Because wasn't when you say the remake had a more serious tone than the original did?
Right, it did. It had more. I'm not saying seriousness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was good. It's still Battlestar Galactica, but I prefer the 1978 version
Okay.
over the newer ones. But it's still, it led more into the Cylons, which the spinoff was Caprica,
Yes.
which how the Cylons came into being. That's a one. The AIs.
Mhm.
Mankind should avoid the AIs, how they
Yes.
Absolutely.
how they
I mean,
adapt, and they think that, it could happen nowadays with the AIs, even from the AI on your computer, on your phone.
Yes.
It's listening, taking notes.
Yeah.
Well,
Cortana and
my
Siri,
phone tried to kill me a few times last week. So
I knew it.
I know where
man.
you're coming from.
knew
Yeah,
it.
I know. My phone doesn't like me.
I
And
just
then
wanna
having
know
your phone turn on saying good morning.
Yeah.
if you tell Siri she's an idiot too many times, does she get mad? I don't know.
Gives you the silence treatment, Cash.
and real quick, everybody. Lester the Skeptic Tank, Lester San Jose the Skeptic Tank just gifted 5 PACIFIC414 memberships. And
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
And I will bring up those members right now. Phil McCracken just became a member of PACIFIC414.
Oh boy.
Come on.
Yay, Phil.
Steve. I knew you'd say that, man. Steve just became a member of PACIFIC414. Captain Fandom Nerd just became a member of PACIFIC414. Joseph Dredd just became a member of PACIFIC414.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Fox of 540 Studios just became a member of PACIFIC414.
He picked some random ones.
Well, I think it's like a spin of the wheel, but now we got.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
have Andre from Wish now.
Yes. Thank you for that, Lester. Greatly appreciate it, brother.
And you still haven't gotten one, Cash.
It's all right.
So go ahead and continue, Leia Rose.
I'm sure it'll happen later, Bear.
But anyway, okay, so we're also with Battlestar with Star Trek.
Mhm.
James T. Kirk. Excuse me, guys. But seeing him the first time drew me to Star Trek along with Spock and Leonard Nimoy, Dr. McCoy, because they treated each other like brothers, more of a family. Each episode of the original series, I'm forever a fan of. They're legends to me.
I don't want my pain taken away. I need my pain.
I mean, think about it. When you look at Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and I'm talking about William Shatner's Kirk, I'm talking about Leonard Nimoy's Spock, and DeForest Kelly's Dr. McCoy. There was that brotherhood there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
And not like the newer Star Trek. What's Discovery and the other one with Captain Pike?
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. I mean, if they could find people looking like them, in which even on the what was the other one? New Frontiers, that's not James Kirk. I mean, and Captain Pike and then Spock. We casting Spock so many times.
The 2009 Star Trek movie that had Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto.
Yeah. Well, you guys are going to be probably pissed off at me. I did like the Calvin universe, all right, but not the characters, the actors. Yeah, but the characters is still it was dry. Most of it's dry. The newer Star Trek is dry to me. It's not what I expect.
Cash, keep your finger away from the eject button now.
Yeah.
What? No, I don't care. That's fine. As the way I look at it always, Leia, is that you can like those films or not like those films, but they're not that memorable. I mean, I don't know the last time I've watched Star Trek 9, maybe in the theaters and I watched all those movies in the theaters, and at the time I was like, yeah, they're not bad, but when you really think about them, I would rather go back and watch Star Trek 4, for example, thousands and thousands of times over all three of those movies. I don't even remember Beyond, but I can definitely tell you a whole bunch of things about Star Trek 4 and Wrath of
I'd rather
Khan and
watch.
Star Trek 3. Yeah, Star Trek 6.
I'd rather. I'd rather watch Phil's favorite film over and over again, Star Trek 5.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, Star Trek 5 wasn't that bad. I mean, I liked it. But, I
Excuse me,
mean,
I'd just like to ask a question. What does God need with a starship?
why does God need a starship? Cash.
Cash, I believe Leia's asking you to answer that
Yes.
question. What?
I
does
don't.
God
Whatever
think of a
whatever he
starship?
wants, right? Whatever.
He's thinking. He's thinking.
I just then it was. I was told by my brother Leia to never watch Star Trek 5 because it's such a mess, and by a lot of Star Trek fans, it's just an absolute mess. But Phil laid it out for me one day that there was a strike and there was this, and I'm like, yeah, but why didn't William Shatner listened to Leonard Nimoy about where direction he should go, since Leonard Nimoy already directed a few Star Trek films. You should listen to the man. What the heck? But yeah, that movie was a mess. But I did think Bones got some justice in that film. I will say that. There was some nice stuff about Bones in that movie.
Especially when it came to Bones' father and Bones having to take his
Yes.
father off life support, and then
Yes.
finding out that shortly after he took his father off life support, there was a cure that was developed, and how it just pained Bones because he's thinking that maybe if I kept my father alive just a little bit longer, he would have been cured. And real quick, I do want to say hello to Real Way Gaming Clips. Good to see you, brother. Now, when it comes to Spock, Kirk, and McCoy, do you have any particular episode that stands out to you of the original series with the three of them in it?
The one with Spock and T'Pring about the Ponfar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying his humanity tested. That one, and Kirk was a lot. There was one where Kirk went back in time with Edith Keeler, I think, my favorite.
Staying on the Edge of Forever. Yep.
Yes, and with McCoy, the one where he's traveling on a asteroid with the lady because he's dying.
Or the Earth is hollow and I have touched the sky.
Yes, those three.
Very nice. I mean, there's just something about classic Star Trek that stands the test of time. You know, there was a recent article that was saying that classic Star Trek is unwatchable, but it really is watchable still to this day. 57 years later, you can still sit down and watch an episode of Star Trek and get either the same thing that you got out of it when you first watched it, or discover something different. That's the power of Star Trek. And when it comes to William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and DeForest Kelley, those three gentlemen are their characters.
Mm-hmm.
And Leia, when it comes to the Star Trek movies, do you have any particular Star Trek movie that you could watch over and over again?
Right, the one with Spock and the whales. That was my mother's favorite, and that was mine.
Star Trek 4, very good film. Yeah.
That was the first Star Trek movie I had actually seen.
That's probably the only one. Or I mean, the one about Beecher. Even
motion picture.
yeah, they should have just stuck with the original series. Making the movies, I'm not saying was a waste, but that's the only movie I liked. That one.
Okay. And what about the Star Trek spin-offs like Next Generation, DS9?
Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. I really kind of hooked up with Deep Space Nine, but the Next Generation. I was a fan for 7 years with that. It was different. You expected Captain Picard to be like Kirk. Totally different.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm a fan of Picard's, but Commander Riker, Worf was my favorite character. Data. There was a lot of funny episodes with Data, Geordi. All of them had that. Some of the episodes, they were like family. Some weren't. Deep Space Nine, Cisco. That was more of what drew me in, the diversity of aliens, culture, religion. Overconfident Cardassians. The Dominion War. Oh, that was a lot. I enjoyed both series. Each series brought a lot of entertainment to me and joy.
Very nice, very nice. And you can never go wrong with Deep Space Nine. I mean, considering how that show started, and then they started giving hints of the Dominion being out there, being this ultimate threat, and they definitely were that ultimate threat when they encountered the Federation and Klingons and Romulans, and it changed the game.
It did when Cisco did bring in the Romulans his way. I mean, and there was Garrick. He was always funny. Garrick was, who would think he would be from the Cardassian? Wasn't he like in an order, like a spy or
Yeah, the
something?
Obsidian Order.
Right. He was funny. There was a couple episodes I liked him and Bashir. Really did work off.
Plain simple Garrick.
Yep. I mean, one of my favorite episodes with Bashir and Garrick is Our Man Bashir, where it's basically a play on James Bond. And Garrick said, "This is not how we would do it in the Obsidian Order." That Julian's trying to explain to him, this is kind of exaggerated. And just, tries to tell him, just play your part. And then shortly, into the episode, Garrick starts seeing the point of running the simulation, and who's your favorite character from either Next Generation or Deep Space Nine?
Oh, that's a hard one because I like a lot. I mean, I like a lot of characters. Data, because he's learning. Data was a good example of someone almost becoming human till the end. Data was Riker, but still he was overconfident. I thought Cisco on that part was mine, and Kira, Major Kira. Garrick was one also. Bouncing back from both. There was not many, but it was just how they all, how the episodes ran. Some of them I liked, some of them I didn't, but still my major characters, I mean, Picard was, I'm not saying, he was a good captain, but I wouldn't pick him as one of my favorites. Riker, even Geordi, some of the stories written were well written. The Bajorans, that was an intrigue to learn about their spirituality of the religion, and having Cisco, he was called, what was he called again, Mike?
The Emissary.
Emissary, yeah. Who would think that the prophets would pick somebody that's not Bajoran, but it happened. But not many favorite, I mean, I had favorite episodes, all of them, but favorite characters, it depends on, every episode was a favorite character, one out of the other, but it was Worf, Riker, Deanna. No, not really for me.
Oh, Master Paul's gonna be sad now.
Who is?
Master Paul. Master Paul.
Why? Because he liked Deanna Troy?
Oh,
Yes, he likes Deanna Troi.
yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Diana was, you know why? Because Riker and Diana had a past relationship. That's why I didn't approve of her. All right, Riker deserves better. You know how women? I mean, most you get jealous, whatever, but all of them had their time and through the seasons favorite. But Data was one that I could say out of the 7 years that I followed, along with Riker. Q. Oh yeah, Q
Oh, what a
was
great character. Yeah.
yeah, right. John DeLancey was one.
Yes. I mean,
Oh,
if there's anybody, even though he didn't show up on that many episodes of Next Generation, but if there's anyone that you anticipated to see, it was Q, because you knew John DeLancey would give a great performance.
Right.
Yes. And what they did to him in Picard.
Well, doesn't he show up? He's supposed to show up in that New Legacy movie or whatever the series with. I don't want to bring that one up, but with
He
7 to 9 as captain.
yeah, he showed up at the end of season 3 of Picard.
Yeah, and Picard's son. What the heck? That he's Borg human. I mean, I don't know. That went off the cliff for me with that.
Yeah, it's like
Disappointing.
some horror movie nonsense. I mean, that lore and Data conversation was cool, but to me, that season is just forgettable. And it made me hate Star Trek for a while.
Member berries.
So many member berries. Oh my gosh. And the way that the Enterprise flies, it's like, what is this? Something out of Star Wars? I couldn't. We watched that. Baron watched it, would love it, but Mike and I, Crit, Phil, we watched. Did Paul watch that with us? No, I don't think he did.
No, he didn't watch it with us.
We watched that whole season, Leia. People were like, "Oh, you got to watch this." All right, let's do it. Oh, what did we get ourselves into? There was so much screaming, even Riker screaming at Picard, and then Picard is like, "I'm sorry," and then later,
sorry. I'm so very sorry.
Later,
Riker's
like,
I'm sorry.
"You were right, Picard. You were right." Oh yeah, I was like, "What kind of writing is this?"
They should have called it elder abuse. Star Trek elder abuse.
It was. You go sit in the corner, Picard. Okay.
And real quick, speaking of Crit, I do want to say hello to Crit of Everest Production. It's Lord Crit of Everest Productions.
Hey,
and
boy.
He says, Cash loves Vatic.
No, absolutely not.
Go to your corner, Picard.
That's right. That was a big theme. You go to your. That was every season. It doesn't matter if it was Data or Deanna or what. They would just yell at the man, and he would just take it. It's like, look at all he's done for Starfleet. How can you disrespect this man like that? They changed some of 7 and 9, and I know she's got a lesbian relationship now. It's like, what happened to her lover in Voyager? Oh, I guess they split up, and now she's just. She's playing for the other team now. All right, well, go nuts then.
That was disappointing in itself because you would. I mean, I was expecting to see Chakotay show up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if he did show up, they'd probably just kill him, like they did with Roe. Excuse me.
Rolaren,
right.
They also killed Icheb.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
in a
that was sad.
Now, Leia, there was a topic that you.
Okay.
Told us backstage that you wanted to talk about because it is a very important topic to discuss, especially if you're a reservist in the military.
Yes.
Right. My sister Ann was a reservist for 6 years in the Navy, and with a lot of what the government has promised the inactive, it's not true. My sister passed July 1st, and she did 6 years, as I said, in the Navy. She worked in Chicago. She was promised health care through the government and a burial place in Abraham Benjamin, I believe, in Joliet, Illinois. She was denied. And the family and I are still trying to bury her. But the government for all you active or inactive, those who are serving as reserves, check with the VA, because they told my sister that she could be buried as an inactive, and she did 6 years in the Navy and she was denied. I mean, I'm upset, the family's upset, but I want to make aware of what the Armed Forces promises those who are taking time out of the day with their families, going on the weekends, doing the their units practices, war for war. My sister Ann did that, and now they denied her. I mean, we all thought, my family thought that she could be buried, but they said no, she was not active in a war, and that's the only thing that you got. Even with the active individual, you have to serve in a war to be placed in the VA cemetery. So I have to. I'm just bewildered how the government has lied with certain things to those who are reservists and all the armed forces. I'm disappointed. Everyone should check with their check with their unit, their commander, their group, and find out. Maybe I'm wrong, but my sister served from 1980 to 1986 in the Army. She took time off from her job in Chicago and she went traveling. She prepared even for that one war. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It was what was that?
Grenada?
Maybe. She didn't go, but her unit was on call. So now that she's passed, my family and I are trying to bury her. But it's in God's hands with that. But all those who are reservists and active, check with the VA, because the government lied. Their promises aren't fulfilled. That's how I feel.
A damn shame. I don't care if you're active or inactive, as long as you served at some point, you should be buried with honors.
Yeah, I mean, we always joked around. I knew people who were part of the reserves and stuff like that. And it's always joking about, hey, we're weekend warriors. But when push came to shove, they were there. They were called up, whether it's here in the country with disaster or a war situation, they put their necks on the line too. But the one sad thing I'd say over the whole thing, I think you can see most nations just use and abuse those who have served in the military. Chew them up and spit them out. It's like, okay, you're done now, and we really don't care. I mean, you see the VA system, how they treated people with the medicals, with the medical health, all the way down, and it's just sad and disgusting. A lot of promises made, but never followed through with, are completely ignored, or the fact that it was a complete total lie. Oh, we lost Leia.
Oops.
Yep, we did.
I hope I didn't say something wrong.
Oh,
there she is.
She's back. She's back.
Oh, you're back. I guess.
Yeah, I just happened to press something on the phone.
You scared Baron. He's like going over the speech. And...
but
no, I'm sorry, but what did Baron say anyway? I mean,
I was just saying that to recap quickly here is like, I knew a lot of people were reserves and such like that, and we always joked about the weekend warrior, but they were there for disasters, called
right.
Wars, they were called up. They put their necks out on the line just as much. And the sad thing is every nation, including ours, has always treated those who serve like crud. All you have to do is look at the VA system with the medical. So it's basically, we use them up and spit them out type of thing. And
that's what they do, because my sister, when she was older, she got sick, not recently, but on and off, and going to the VA and doing all the paperwork online, and then telling her that she's inactive, that she's not active. They should read it. I mean, I'm just saying, at the time, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Then, like Baron said, they just deny you.
Exactly. And it's either that they don't want to follow through with it, or they just plain out lie. I mean, we all, that's the joke goes, it's not really a joke, but the recruiters are liars. they say, "Oh, come on in, you'll get this, this, and this," and you think you're going to be going to Germany or Hawaii, and you end up in the Aleutian Islands. It's you can't trust right off the bat a recruiter, but unfortunately, there's the heads of stuff that you can't trust either.
No. And now they're leaving it up to the family to do what the government should have done to begin with.
Right. Yeah. You serve inactive or active, you should have rights to be buried. And especially if it's, I'm not saying the veterans, but those who didn't serve in the war and expect to be buried, they're not buried. Even your active, my brother who did 6 years and 4 years in the reserves, he's denied too. Mm-hmm. And he did the active, going to Germany, going this, doing that. He was out of the country for most of those years, and he's still now at the end. He's not going to have a place with the rest in the BA cemetery, Abraham Benjamin.
And
that's the sad part
right.
about it.
That's not right. He served. He did his duty. Exactly. And he should be buried.
I got exactly 4 brothers that have done the service: Air Force, Navy, Marines, active, and they didn't do a war situation. So they're married with kids, but they're adults. They have everybody's buying their own plot now. I'm not saying, but the thing is, it's better be prepared. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And especially having the government, which tells you, like Baron was saying, like Pacific and Cash, you don't pull the rug under somebody who's took time out of the day, whether of a family, of a young father or a mother, even the college. What's the ROTC? Am I wrong?
Yeah, the Reserve Officers Training Corps. I think. Lies.
All right, and I'm upset and angry about it. Uncle Sam's supposed to take care of you, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the boot goes high up and kicks you out of the country. That's the sad part. But, as an adult, you just let God. It's called, I'm sorry to say it's called karma, but God will do the battle for you, for those. And finding out in the end, he always opens one door, closes, and another door opens. So, despite everything, I'm pissed off, but still, she was my sister and other family members that are going through the same thing. And especially they promise you the medical, and then they deny everybody. Mm-hmm. So it's reality. Check your commanders or the BA itself and find out. If I missed something wrong, I wouldn't be bringing up the subject, but still, that's something everyone should know.
Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to know. Former service men and women need to know that, especially the reservists.
Right, and the active ones finding out that. Go ahead.
Now the burden's on you and your family.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's not right. It's totally disrespectful to your sister and to any reservists out there who, did their duty for their country. In wartime or not, they still did their duty.
Yeah, and then the cemeteries itself, it's like, what? She's already cremated. We had a mass for her. We're Catholics. We had a mass at the monastery. And then all of a sudden, my brother, he's a banker. He's a big banker out in Chicago. And I hope he did his homework correct, because I wanted him to let me do it. I know Andy's back history and everything. Well, God bless my brother David, but him telling everybody she can't be buried there. And this is the week of the service. Mm-hmm. Where do we go from there? So it's not been a month, but we have very few locations, but still. Yeah. There was 11 of us. It's not like we're asking for money, in which I'm not. The thing is,
you just want your sister laid to rest.
Yes, laid to rest.
Place.
She should have been laid to rest in Benjamin. Everyone who served or active, but should have a place to be buried by Uncle Sam. Mm-hmm. I was born and raised here, mixed heritage, German, Italian, Indian, and Heinz 57 half on my mom's side. But still, every human being served in active or reservist should know the truth. they sugarcoat it, and it's fine print, written in small print, computer wise, and then you find out at the end, like I did.
Mhm.
Annie was a beautiful person. She was there for me. She was there for every family member, especially my parents. She was a caregiver. She was a person to admire. Her education was high. She had good jobs and everything, and have her waiting to be buried, that's brings a lot of anger.
That's a travesty.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, I mean, the message is out. That's what I wanted everybody to know.
Mhm. Yes, and again, Leia asked me about this backstage, and I said, "This is an important topic. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be brought
Yes.
out to the limelight. This way, those of you who are former reservists can find out this information and do what needs to be done to make sure that your family is not facing the same burden that Leia and her family are facing right now."
hmm
So
Exactly.
please ask your friends who are reservists, family members who are reservists, and make sure that they have a final resting place
hmm
when the time comes. This is a burden that shouldn't be left to anyone. And Baron, if you'd like to add anything to that, please.
No, I don't really have anything more to add. Everyone else said things very eloquently, better than I could say.
Cash, if you have anything to add.
You said it all, man.
You know, my grandfathers served in World War II. I had an uncle who served in Vietnam. I've been around military men and women a good majority of my life. And my grandfather on my mom's side served in World War II as well. I had a grandfather who served in the Army Air Force. That was my grandfather on my dad's side. And my grandfather on my mom's side served in the Navy. And if there's anything that should be done for any current or former service member, active or inactive, is they should have a final resting place so their family can be at peace. So they can be at peace.
Right. You said it right, Pacific. I think I might have talked. I mean, me talking about it might not have come out real clear, but still, people have family members that they have depended on growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like burning down Washington D.C., but karma will
No.
follow the president.
No, you're not calling for people to go out there and go berserk, but what you are bringing to light, and it needs to be brought to light to Washington, is for people to call their representatives and say, "Hey, this is going on. Why are you guys
Mhm.
allowing this to go on?" And try to get it to change.
Right.
And Lester San Jose, the skeptic tank, says, "My dad had to deal with the bill of goods sold to him during his 24 years of active service. Since he joined in 1980, he warned me constantly." Yep. Why are you putting a burden on former servicemen or their children who decide to go into the service to make sure that they're not screwed in the end?
Mhm.
And T-Gap Steve says, "Do you think that our veterans would get help better if they just made the VA a branch under the Pentagon rather than separate and tap into the big military budget for it?"
No, I hate to say, I don't think so. It's
I
all
think it would-
bureaucracy.
I think it would be even worse.
Mhm.
To be perfectly honest with you, because my main reason for saying that is they wouldn't get the budget.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, we can't allocate the budget for this quarter. Sorry, you're out of luck.
There's been some presidents, especially like in the early 2000s and into 2008, 2009, 2010, 11, whatever. And the 2 terms that Obama had and some of these other presidents that they say they're going to do stuff for the VA and they don't.
No.
And it's just disgusting. And the fact that you hear about the long lines of people who are trying to get care and then they actually die in those lines, that was
Yes.
going on. It's awful.
Mhm.
And you read about this stuff, you're like, there's no way that this could be true. And it is.
It
Now,
is true.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's still going on today.
Yeah.
It's just it's so aggravating.
I
what
have
it's-
a friend who's a Vietnam veteran, and he had a health scare recently, and just the trouble he had trying to get the assistance he needed, get the health care that he needed from the VA. It's a shame that in this country we treat our men and women of the armed forces like utter crap.
Right.
And then, they're not preparing these men for war and women for war and whatever. They've got all this other crap going on, this agenda that's not helping the military, not making them stronger. And a lot of people, what did one song I heard? There was a time where young men were fighting. Now they're more interested in doing memes. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But really, they're just making the point that, people don't care. There's still a number of people, I feel, and you heard me, YouTube, that they just don't care about America like they should. They act like they care. They're happy to take the benefits and use people and use each other and whatever. But when it comes down to actually fighting for this country, they act like idiots.
They
And
roll over and play dead.
yes, they
Yep.
play dead, or there's even, and I'm sorry to break this to you, YouTube, but this does go on because I've seen it myself. They, even in college, they're teaching people, and this goes along the same lines of what's going on in the military and everything, that they're teaching people to hate this country. It's ridiculous.
And
Ridiculous.
speaking of someone who hated the country, T-Gap Steve says, "My dad is a Vietnam vet. You never want to mention Jane Fonda around him. No, any
right.
Vietnam vet, including my late uncle. You mentioned that name, boy. They had some choice words for Jane Fonda.
Why is that, Mike?
Hanoi Jane. She was trying to help the enemy during Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah, she was. She had pictures taken of her while on top of anti-aircraft cannons in North Vietnam and in Hanoi. So, and going around and befriending them, and obviously North Vietnam was using this as every opportunity to have propaganda, and she got that nickname Hanoi Jane because of that. And many,
Oh my gosh.
she tried to do a half-hearted apology about it, but it didn't go over so well because people.
Of course not.
Yeah, because
People saw through it.
Right.
No.
Mm-hmm. And it's just.
I'll send you stuff of Jane Fonda later, Leia. You'll love it.
No, you better not, Cash. And you're supposed to make me a wrench, remember, for my birthday?
Oh, you didn't forget about that, huh?
No,
Yeah,
I'm gonna still bug you still.
I know you
Obviously,
are.
Cash. Don't be like the American government.
Yeah, Cash.
I'm not. Listen to this guilt trip. Anyways, continue.
Continue the guilt trip? Sure, more than that.
No.
Oh, sorry. I got confused.
And that's understandable, Steve, for your father showing it and then some. She is still not liked by a lot of Vietnam veterans.
Mm-mm.
Oh, as I said, what she even said recently on The View is something special. That's for sure.
So,
You don't agree with me? Well, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to tick you off, YouTube, if you love the Jane Fonda.
Right.
you know, we live in a country where we are proud of many things, but the one thing we should be ashamed of is, again, the way we treat those in the
Veterans.
military.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, even coming back from Vietnam, however you feel about that war, it's not cool that people actually spit on them, attack
Call the
them.
baby killers and
Yeah, awful.
Yeah. And she helped encourage that.
Of course she did.
And to get Steve says, I think they may need to have her buried in secret to keep her gravesite from being defaced and danced on.
I hear they are sent to Vietnam.
Yeah. Even then, people will find out the location, and who knows. But our military men and women are the lifeblood of this country. They're the ones risking their lives, going overseas, and fighting in wars for our freedom. And they should be given the ultimate respect when they come back. They're the ones spending long hours in that battlefield. While we here at home, of course, are listening to the news, but also going on with our daily lives, not having to work under pressure like our military men and women. I don't know what it's like to be under fire, but you can find someone out there who served in the military, who was there during Desert Storm, was there during any war, not just Desert Storm, Vietnam, and ask them questions, what it was like. Some might want to tell you about their experiences in the military, and especially during those times. And then others might want to keep it quiet. I know my late grandfather on my dad's side, he didn't want to talk about a lot of his experiences in World War II at first. It wasn't until my grandfather was diagnosed with cancer and was dying that he started to tell my father about things that he experienced in World War II, because he wanted my father to pass it on to me. He wanted my uncles to pass it on to my cousins. It really is a damn shame what our country does and how it treats its people. And again, especially those in the military.
There should be some kind of not gathering petition started, just for awareness. Hashtag USA liar or government, or I'm just throwing out stuff, guys.
We
Hashtag
just need
help our veterans.
Yes.
we need news media and stuff, actual people who are going to do real journalism again and go in there and go into these VA hospitals and find out exactly what the hell is going on.
Yeah, they get a story and then they write it up or put it in a smaller print. They don't do it like if it's, like the not January 6th or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not on the front page. It's usually in the back page.
Right.
You're not even going to pay attention to, because it's not one of those mainstream headlines that will
Right.
grab your attention. And I do appreciate you bringing this up and letting us all know about it. Because again, it's very important. Some might just go, it's not that important, guys. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you are in the military or a reservist, this is very important. If you're former military, former reservist, this is very important. Everybody wants to have a final resting place or know that they're going to have a chance to give their family peace of mind when they're gone. When my mother passed away 2 years ago, she made sure to not only tell my sister and I what she wanted, she wrote it down. What she wanted.
Yeah, and that's one thing my sister Ann, we never thought that she would pass. She was ill for the past year, but having her go suddenly was a shock. She died so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that was unexpected. Like my other sister, Diana, who died of COVID, she was a healthcare worker and she gave the vaccine. She died within 2 weeks of the Delta variant. And that's another thing that the government tells you a lie about. Get the vaccine, right. My sister Diana was number 11. There's 11 of us, 6 boys, 5 girls, and then she went within 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, they lie about everything or miscalculate, falsify the truth.
Right.
I've heard the vaccine has, the COVID vaccine has killed a lot of upper seniors with heart problems, blood clots and all that. I mean, I thank God for my health. I had COVID last year. It was November. I've had it like for 6 days. My lungs were fine. I'm up in my age. I'm up in wisdom, but I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Delta variant ruined my sister got pneumonia and she didn't survive. Diana, she was only 46.
Mm-hmm.
That's young.
That is young. But still, I mean, they falsified the truth. Put ads in the papers, get the vaccine, you could get $100 at CVS, all this. All that's going to lead to something, to another. No one knows the outcome of multiple vaccines on a human body, in which, in the law of God, thou shalt not kill. And one of the commandments it is.
Yes.
You're not supposed to harm yourself. And the vaccine to me is harming yourself. You're letting something change your chemistry, your DNA. Whether YouTube appreciates me talking, I'm sorry, but you know what? I had two deaths within 2 years.
You don't need to apologize, Leia. This is fact. This is reality.
I mean, I paid taxes. I did odd jobs, 10 years of retail, went to Purdue Calumet out here in Hammond. Our names, humanity itself, I mean, we're supposed to be we the people. Who's going to dictate this, and who started all this with the COVID, with the plague? Man did. Man made this, wanted to experiment, wanted to take a third of mankind. They wanted to take the elderly out, the disabled, the people that do have a place in this world, to wipe them out, because they're what? They're a nuisance. I'm not saying the disabled, because all of us are disabled in a way. Some are smarter, some go to school, become somebody, and then they play God. Well, they're going to have a reckoning who started all this, because they're going to have to face God. And karma does follow. That's another human term that I'm using. Karma will find that person. Society, government, even if it's across the pond, as one would say, on both sides of the United States. All for money. Who has a right to take life? Only God has a right to. God takes it when it's our time, when it's having us come home and says, "Welcome, my faithful servant." Well, and I mean, I was raised Christian Catholic, so that's a strong subject with me. Even when my family talks about it, all I bring up is my sister, because she was my sister, my baby sister. But still, I mean, people throw it off. Oh, get the vaccine. What? It killed my sister. That's what my first words come out. It killed my sister Diane, who gave the vaccine. And she was a healthcare worker. So how am I supposed to react? All the vaccine's supposed to be good for you. No, it's not. It's changing your chemistry. It's changing the way you think. I have a friend who's had multiple vaccines of this, and I believe it's changed her demeanor, it's changed her mindset. Because before all this, she was very smart, very this, and then now forgetful. She's having back, leg problems, heart problems. She's a couple years older than me, but still. God's on my side, as well as you three in the stream, as well those who are watching. I pray for everybody. I don't want to have karma knocking on my door. I've lived a life of running away from God. It got me in an unsafe predicament. I'm running toward him for guidance and strength, but still, I'm human. We're all human beings. We're all bound to make mistakes, but man does not have a right to take life.
No.
And tell who to take this and that is supposed to be good for you, because that's a mindset. That's gaslighting everybody.
It is. And, when you hear about people who have taken the vaccine, some don't have bad experiences at all. And then some find out after they've taken the vaccine that there's some underlying family health history that shows that they shouldn't have taken it at all.
Right.
And I know, and doctors said that my sister died of pneumonia. She didn't die of pneumonia. The thing is, they must have tried something new on her, tried to save her, but she had a stroke because of all that, and she died. A lot of people I know had strokes. People that I talked to, from walking my dog, going into the store, and I hear the conversation, and then I stop the line. I do sometimes. I'll not preach, but I'll bring up news about the vaccine that they said, yeah, that happened to mine. That happened, everybody. There has to be a signed petition, because I know for a fact that when a friend of mine did ask that right before she got the vaccine, she wanted to know the side effects. They opened one box of that, and there was blank paper. All this is testing. Whoever started this wanted to see how the human body can be changed or could be conformed, because we don't know the onset of what's going to happen. We might have that zombie apocalypse from those movies. Wake up, you're finding your neighbor pounding on your door. I'm not laughing in the sense, but it's like a horror story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Wasn't there a movie named Contagion years before all this, telling of a bat falling, some kind of bad with the pig thing, and then they started the onslaught of genocide, people dying and everything else. Have you guys seen Contagion?
No,
I've heard
haven't.
of it. I have not seen it, though.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like this COVID plague. Exactly. Segregating everybody, the government closing down. Like, come on, we're all not that stupid that we don't know what's going on. They made this. Whoever made this going to have, like I said, going to have God knocking and karma high. I know I'm not supposed to judge, only God could judge, but I have family members taken from me too young.
Mm-hmm.
And despite everything else, there's a lot in my life I have to finish. I'm a go-getter. I don't kind of hold my feelings in, but still, you got to give your neighbor a chance to speak. But I don't know. I'm looking at it one-sided now because of what's happened in the last couple of years in my life.
You're going by your experience. We all go by our own experience, even when someone tells us, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." We have experiences in our lives that teach us lessons, that show us things, that resonate with us even as we get older. And you've had 2 family members pass. And I know how hard it is to lose a family member. And
the only thing we got to do is keep moving for our family members. We can't sit and stay and wish it didn't happen, but it happened, and we got to deal with it. I deal with my grief by working. I'm sorry, I'm not a crier, guys. I work my stuff out mentally and then physically, and walking with my dog Loki and me. I decided to finish my my schooling, my college. I had to stop for a while because Annie was sick within the year. Now I'm going back again, restarting it. But hey, life's I'm still here, God's here, and
Mhm.
my mission's not done yet. So
No, you still have a mission to complete.
right,
God
that's
laid
what
out a
everyone
path for
else
you.
says.
God laid out a path for you, and God's telling you you're not finished yet. You still have to go down this path I laid out for you.
Right. And I gotta be have the armor of God with me to deal with the rest of humanity. I'm
Yep.
excited because I don't know, I just like to express myself.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. We all like to express ourselves in our own way.
Hmm.
Yes.
We do a lot of that here.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Of
for
course, I
sure.
hear you guys talk. Hey, is it true that guys talk more than women?
I think it depends on
The subject, right?
well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it depends on the subject matter.
I mean,
I think Phil McCracken has women beat with his
I,
talking.
I can tell you, Leia, that when I was coming out of the theater with my dad and my brother
Oh,
after seeing
I thought you said
Mission
thought you were gonna say
Impossible,
the
I have
closet.
to say it's like I had to hear these young women and they're like, "I'm Barbie, I'm Barbie, I'm Barbie." And I wanted to go up to them and said, "And I'm losing brain cells," but I didn't.
Slap them for me, all right? I'm Barbie. I was never into growing up. I was never into Barbie. I was more into GI Joe. I was a tomboy,
Mhm.
climbing, playing football.
Nothing wrong with that. I knew several girls growing up who were tomboys, and they're the fun ones to hang around.
Yeah, because right. I mean, it's. I'm just. I mean, my sisters were Barbies. My nieces are Barbies. Stuck up? No. Some might be watching. I forgot to tell. Some are listening, actually, for tonight. But it's been a good stream. I mean, I've enjoyed myself. Mike, Baron, Cash.
And that's always the goal of the streams here is to have a good time,
Yes.
have a relaxing time, and also when we need to have a serious conversation.
Mhm.
Yes, we're all jokes most of the time and laughing and giggling like kids on the playground, kids in class, but when there's a topic as we've covered tonight with what's going on with reservists, those in the VA and servicemen and women in general, we can get serious.
Yes, I agree.
There's a time for jokes and there's a time to be serious.
Mhm.
A time to button up the lip.
Well, that's why I haven't been talking much.
Oh, come on, Baron. Man, Baron must have some stories for us tonight.
Oh, stories of what? I got stories. I don't know if the 7 years have been up on the statute of limitation yet. I have to check my calendar on that.
But
And Cash is, I mean, Phantom Hooligans, Cash is up on his entertainment. He's always has good conversation too.
yeah, and these people.
These people.
It's amazing how many people say that on YouTube, but yes, I try not to
They're all
always say
copying
these
you.
people. Yeah, they're all
Oh,
right. They're
yeah.
copying me, sure.
Well, I mean, it's
Well,
like a
I
Canadian
just-
saying "a" all the time, eh?
What's that all boot? But
Yeah, it's like for you, it's these people.
I just think it's good to just do a lot of research on this stuff, and I'm happy to be working with Baron and Mike and other people on YouTube, Leia. We have a nice group usually and stuff, but we argue about stuff
And I don't ever get an invite.
Well, that's not my fault.
Maybe it is.
I take full responsibility.
Okay.
It's my fault.
We're just
Yeah,
dominions here.
but Phil wants to always tell me I'm a bad person because I live in California. But
What's wrong with California? It's a dream state. You got
It's-
warm weather.
we do, but we have to as I tell people, people like me are the sane people. We have to keep the other ones from going crazy. We still need some sane people around to try to fix California if it's possible.
It's better than Delaware.
Delaware is a nice state, isn't it, Baron, or not? You're in Delaware?
No, I'm not in Delaware. No, Phil
Phil
is.
McCracken is.
Oh yeah, that's a nice state. The East Coast.
Yeah, he likes to tell us all about Delaware, and we tell him it's cool, man. You're buddies with Joe Biden. It's all right, man. We won't judge you.
Yeah, we
It's
understand.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Headed the campaign and everything.
That's
I hear those
right.
guys go back a long ways.
Yeah, man. That's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh,
We keep on busting.
Phil say,
Of course.
Phil say, Cash
Of
Money is
course,
Comrade
yeah.
Stalin. It's
He's
because of Cash's chin. Phil's
this is
jealous of
my
the chin.
beautiful chin, man. People seem to be jealous of my chin. It just makes me laugh.
I am. I wish I had a chin like yours. That's why I have a beard to hide my girly chin, my glass chin, that sunken chin.
Yeah.
It's like, give me some of your chin. I want to be magnificent like you. But no, we on and off the air, we go back and forth at each other about the states, Delaware, California, Minnesota, stuff like that. No,
well, as long as not anybody's living in the corn crop country like I am. I'm in Indiana.
Nothing wrong with Indiana.
We're
Boring.
usually ready for a debate, but we just feel it's always important to do research if we're looking at an article. I mean, Mike and I will. Baron, I'm not sure if he does this, but Mike and I will play games offline. If we're not ready on the game to go on stream, then we'll play it offline. We'll figure out stuff. We'll do this. These things are important to us. And to other people, streamers, they're not. I wish they were. I think if people did more research, but some streamers will say, "Oh, it's too much work," and I'm like, "Of course, it's work.
That's part
Those
of
things in life are work."
Right.
Right. And I don't like work, so I don't do any of that stuff.
Baron just sits on his chair eating Cheetos. Yeah. It's all right.
No, my beanbag chair in my underwear eating Cheetos. Yes.
What was that, Baron? You got a lady in the chat. I mean, a lady in the panel.
Well, nothing I said was disgusting.
I'm not saying it, but that's for you. I'm just playing.
Nothing sounds slimy about that. I mean, I don't think it sounds seemly.
Baron, can't take him anywhere.
You're right.
No,
I can't go anywhere. I can't go to a bloody place.
No, he can't go to bars too. He got banned recently.
Yeah, I know. So I'm bootlegging now. Got my still going and everything.
Yeah. Always, Mike.
Yes.
Always consider me as a panelist, a female panelist for your crew.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll definitely do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be hard on Cash.
Yes, please do.
So somebody needs to keep him in line when Phil's not on.
Gosh, Phil. Yes. Phil likes to always
Cash in line is a hard task on its own.
Leia, Phil likes to find me all the time. If I wasn't around, I think Phil would be sad. I really do.
Yeah, but Phil's very intellectual too.
He is, but other times you don't want to be around him.
Phil's all right.
He's okay. Yeah, I might get out of 10. I think I'd probably give him about a 5 out of 10.
I'll give him a 10.
I give him a 2.
Yeah, but Phil's hardcore. He has some good info, like you, Cash.
Yeah, he does.
Mike and Baron.
No, he does have good info. It's just sometimes he thinks he knows everything, which he doesn't.
Well, he's our Cliff Clavin. I think we've
Cliff Clavin. Who is he?
From Cheers.
Cliff. Oh, the mailman. All right.
That would be Phil. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? If Phil's Cliff, the Baron, you're Norm.
Thank you. You honor me. Okay, that's it. I'm going to look for him for my next avatar. I'll be Norm. I'm more than happy to be Norm.
I like that.
Yeah, not unemployed and hiding from my wife.
But
Yeah.
Crit is saying if you want to offend someone, tell Phil he's not the king of Pop Talk.
He's not.
He's not.
That's a funny. In his brain, he thinks he is, but in reality, he's not.
No.
No.
And Phil says, "I warned you. Leia will defend me. She'll defend
Yes.
anyone who she feels the need to fight for."
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind
Do
me
you
saying
feel
that, Leia.
though that do you feel though that Leia, you're the sole member of the Phil McCracken fan club? Or
I
you
think we are all members of the Phil McCracken's fan club.
Are you sure about that?
We're all members, Cash. I thought you told me that the last time we DM'd each other.
Oh,
do tell.
What's this? What's this information that Cash has been holding from us?
I definitely did not say that, and that would
I
make
know.
Phil McCracken too happy. You can't do that, Leia. You know this. You never make
Okay.
Phil McCracken that happy. No.
Well, I mean, Phil's very intellectual, like all of you gentlemen.
He's got he definitely, especially about history. We told him that
Yes.
he should be
Yes, he
doing,
is.
stuff on history. We did on his channel because he's so passionate about it.
He is. He was on Pop Talk a few weeks ago, and
When's Phil going to do another stream?
yeah. Phil,
Who knows? It's a good question.
Please answer that question, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah. You keep on
Yeah,
going
when-
after us about that. Come
That's
on,
right.
Phil.
When you guys
Come
streaming?
on.
Oh, you're not
Come on.
having a stream today? Oh, what
Come on.
happened?
Come on, Phil.
Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Philly boy. Okay. Typical.
See, we all turned on Phil, including Leia.
No,
I like her.
We're just asking Phil politely.
No, you never
Oh,
ask him politely.
No.
You just tell him he's a biatch.
Wow.
Whoa. Well, I got to play a clip for that.
Yes.
There you go.
Just got to find it first.
Well,
Amongst the
we're
many-
waiting.
Well, I kind of retired that clip, but
I
You know,
know, but that's why I said that. That was for you directly.
Seems about right.
Here it is,
Crit.
here it
I
is.
agree.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Got out of hand fast. That's great.
Kill the man.
Brick killed a guy with a trident.
It skipped on me. But Phil McCracken says, "Thank you, Leia. You always been my friend since day one."
Oh,
Yes. I'm everybody's friend. No one wants to ever open Pandora's box. You can ask Alan Copeland that.
Oh, do tell.
Wow.
We were on Green Lantern stream when he was streaming.
Okay.
And then I just kind of like went off verbally in the chat. And then Alan goes, "Go, Leia, go. Open that box."
Hey, Phil, you just did tell us when your next stream was.
Yep.
Did he post it?
Billy boy.
No, I don't know if he posted, but he just said it in the chat.
Yeah,
I know. I'm on my phone. I can't see the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, he's saying the first weekend of September, Leia, but don't
Okay.
tell them 3.
Don't tell. Yeah, he
We're not
likes to
supposed to know
call
this,
us.
so.
Yeah, we're not supposed to know this, even though he just said it. Yeah.
Right.
Told him to stop mixing up his pills, but he didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
Bill doesn't take a lot of pills.
Probably a few.
Okay.
We keep telling him not to
Phil
take the
doesn't
blue
get his
pill.
nap. He
No,
just
he
takes
doesn't
his
get.
nap.
Yeah, he gets very cranky. You're not around him, Leia, when he's cranky. Where is this? What is this? What's going on?
Where's my Babylon 5?
Yeah,
That's right. Every day.
Well, the next time you guys are on BC, I mean,
Yes.
I'm on most of your. I mean, does Baron have a Discord?
Yeah, I got one. I just don't really use it much, to be honest with you. I've been
Yeah.
using a lot of other
Yeah,
people's ones.
yeah, right. We move around.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
But
no
whenever like we're live on the thing, people are welcome to come to the VC if I'm
Right.
there.
I know. I've seen you guys on Master Paul's, but I'm always feeling odd being the only
Oh yeah.
female. You know, woman.
I wouldn't worry about it, Leia.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
I would worry though bringing women around Master Paul. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you're a town boy. You can take us all on.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm iron. Yeah.
We're scared of you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be scared of us. You know?
Oh, are you? No, you're not.
Baron's a goofball, so like all of us.
I'm a goofball. Okay,
Yep.
I'm hurt now.
Here, I'm gonna look up a clip real quick to play, just real quick, because it would represent us with Leia Rose. So give me a second to look it up.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm sorry. He still hasn't found it. I tell you.
I'm putting it in the
This
search,
is called-
dude.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is called making sausage in front of the customers. Yeah. You never make sausage in front of the customers. Never. Unless you want to have fun about it.
Oh, hold on, I'm trying to find
I know
the
I know
exact
you're
moment.
trying. The exact moment. No, even I'm intrigued now. Who's getting flamed in this one? Me? Cash? I like it when Cash.
Still looking for the exact clip.
He's looking for the clip.
The
So, hey, Cash. So when are you streaming? Tomorrow, right? Or I seen.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing Vermintide 2 tomorrow.
Yes.
Warhammer.
You have a. I mean, you have a voice. You'll be streaming from Discord, right? That anybody could hop in your BC or not?
Yeah. Yeah. of
Okay.
course. They're allowed to as long as they behave themselves. But we do have Phil in there, so
So okay, that's good. I'll be on. I mean, I'll hop on tomorrow.
Phil-
What time is it?
6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
So it'll be what? 8 o'clock my time?
I always make sure
Central,
to
yeah.
schedule them on YouTube. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I might be
I think
hanging
I'm
out with the
getting close to
boys
it.
soon, right?
Mhm. It's up to you.
I
Phil will
got
be
it.
in there
I got
causing
it.
Shenanigans, though.
Oh, he got it? He got it finally, boys and girls.
Oh, he did it. Yay.
He grabbed his floaties.
It's just because of the line. I thought the line was perfect.
Mm.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. It's not
Oh.
that long of a clip, so
Now, at exactly what point did we lose control here?
Oh yeah, you got flip that out, man. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I do.
Yeah.
See, because I think you would be able to put us in our place, Leia.
Oh yeah.
Keep us in line. Keep us from getting out of line. Keep us
In your
behaving.
corners, all three of you,
Yep.
or not?
Yep, all three of us.
Am I governable? I don't think I'm governable. I'm ungovernable.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I'll
when
just
Mike's
bring up
not-
that picture of Baron as a Ewok.
Oh no.
Oh, do I? Oh, do I? I don't know if I got that on hand. I would do that.
No, I took a screenshot of that one.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool. I got a picture somewhere. I'm migrating from one computer to another, so not everything's gone over yet. At least it wasn't
So-
cocaine Ewok.
That's true. So, Leia, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about before we wrap up the show?
No, everything was a very enjoyable experience being with you guys tonight. Pacific,
Well,
Baron, Cash.
Wow.
I appreciate you coming on, and when you had said a few weeks ago that you'd like to be on, I wanted to make sure that the wheels were put into motion, and that it wasn't one of those things where I see the comment and then never do anything about it.
Right. I felt that I needed to come on today. I had a lot going on this weekend, but you know what? My sister's thing needed to be said for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Understandable.
God bless America, but God will deal with the rest. He'll
Mhm.
fight the battles for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
As
You
I
gotta have
introduced,
faith.
as I introduced to Cash this scene, in God we trust, all others pay cash.
And Phil says, in all seriousness, Leia is my friend, and I mean friend. She always has my back. She defends me, and she's always been there for me. There's nothing I won't do if I can for Leia. And I think we all can say that. She's
Yeah.
there for all
Thank
of
you.
us.
Great.
Phil.
I wish
Everyone.
I could say the same about Phil, but no, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
He never
Phil's a
says
good
that about
guy.
anybody.
No, that's true.
He
always
does. Phil's a good
always-
guy.
He always says he hates us all, so it doesn't
No,
matter.
he doesn't. And
All
even
right.
when he streams, when that he says what you say, no one takes him seriously about that. I don't.
It's all right. He's a hater. It's okay.
Wow.
But
You guys
But
really
what-
brought a lot of peace to me tonight.
No, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm glad we could help.
I expect to be on again, Pacific. And Cash and Baron. And Cash is going to make me a wrench, right, Cash?
Probably soon, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be soon.
Mm-hmm.
You're the head, not the tail, right, of Phantom Hooligans?
Yes.
Okay.
Hooligans.
I mean, Matt Risman is around, but he's been busy, so yeah.
Well, you can make me a wrench.
Yes, I can.
You could,
Yes, you
Cass. You have the authority.
Yes, you have the authority as because I know that at times I miss Pacific or I pop in and say hello, push that like button. I have been, this whole year's been that, but still, Cash could do that for me, right, Cash? Like I said, I have people watching or listening tonight. For real.
Pressure.
No pressure.
I know. I'm just.
It's up to Cash when he can. All right, I'm not pressuring him.
Oh,
I know you're not.
And here's something too, Leia. I do want to have you back on the show, not
Okay.
just as a single guest, but I do want to let everybody know that open panels will be coming back sometime on a Sunday in September.
Okay.
The way it's going to work this time is it's not going to be 2 open panels per month. It's not going to be open panel every episode of Pop Talk. The new way it's going to go is on a Sunday each month. There's going to be 1 open panel.
Okay.
And that open panel is going to happen in the second hour of Pop Talk. The first hour will be Baron, Cash, and myself. The second hour will be an open panel where if you want to come on and talk about a particular topic in pop culture or you saw a news article about a
Okay.
TV show, something that caught your interest, you want to talk about it. you're
Could
more
it
than welcome
be
to come.
also religion based? If I seen something dealing with the government and religion, let's say the Catholic Church, or not?
If that's something you want to talk about, we can
Yeah.
have a discussion about it.
Okay. But you can. I'll be on. I feel very comfortable
Okay.
on your show. That's why I had to come on tonight. It was just a necessity.
No,
you
no.
want to
we'll
know
let
how
you-
where we really are.
Yeah,
I will-
I've heard you guys beforehand, all right? Because I know you guys play with each other in the way word wise.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
do want to let you know, Leia, and everybody. This goes for everybody too. That those open panels will probably be at the standard 1 p.m. start time for the Sunday edition.
Okay,
let
that's 12
everybody know.
o'clock my time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I do appreciate you having me as a guest. I've enjoyed myself. And
I've enjoyed having you here.
oh yeah, and the topic of Anne and her for the other reservists to know is truth and reality.
Yes, definitely. It's an important topic
Dude.
that we all need to
Yes.
discuss. And even in Discord, we do talk about serious things too. Yes, we joke around with each other still, but there are many times where we're getting right down to business, letting
Right.
each of us know where we stand on certain issues, and
Right.
we're not leaving the Discord in a huff and a puff and saying, "Oh, I'm not talking to you guys for several days now because I don't agree with what you just said."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah.
You spelled trial wrong there, Phil. Fix that, all right? Thanks.
Maybe it's saying trail. Oh.
Yeah, trail of his tears.
The Cash Monet trail.
That's a lie, Phil. You know it.
This guy, dude. Yeah, every gosh, yeah.
No, this is the guy who was whining to us about doing Vermintide 2. And I haven't heard him say, now that we say that he can play with us because they are cross-platform. I haven't heard a word from him yet.
Yeah, we haven't tested it with Epic Games. I think he just has to get on there and then he can play. I don't know exactly how it works, something like that.
But anyway, guys, I have to leave. You know, like I said, Pacific, have me on again. Cash will make me a wrench. And Baron, watch your back.
Yeah, I always do.
Oh, wow.
I always do. With these guys, everybody.
Or you're gonna find that Ewok picture of you on Twitter. Looking for me.
I thought it was.
So Leia, real quick, are you telling the three of us this?
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. You hear? Hell's coming with me.
Yes. That was funny.
The hell you say?
You mean Hades? Us ladies gotta use our words. Well, anyway, I'm not a lady most of the time. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But it's been a pleasure. If you guys are on
It's been
BC
an honor,
later
Leia.
and who's ever Discord, I'm joining. You're gonna have me there.
All right.
Definitely.
Very good.
We move around, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we wander.
my phone is a tracker. It pops up notifications of who's on and who's off. I'm always watching.
She's watching everybody.
Like when we caught that. Hey guys, I can't come on. Steam Cash Money's on.
Yeah. Guys, I had the app open. That's why it was showing me on.
Well, it's like the other night too. It's like Broforce. It's like I'm going to bed.
That was Mike.
Mike's on Broforce.
That's right. Mike was testing stuff. You can't help it. It's the same with me. We have to test stuff. You know.
Okay, guys. Again, I'll be signing off.
Thank you very much for joining
right,
us. I
Leia.
greatly appreciate it, and I will definitely send you an invite.
All right, thank you again, and I'll see you guys on the BC or whoever's Discord. And Cash,
right.
behave.
Not going to happen.
Not
All
around.
right, night
Phil.
all.
Take care.
Have a good night, Leia.
Good
All right,
talking
bye.
with ya.
Yeah.
And gentlemen, I think this is a good time for us to wrap up the show. So if there's anything that you'd like to promote, please, by all means, do so.
Well, I'm hoping that we can continue on our Babylon 5 talk on next
Yes.
Saturday at what was it? It's 6 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time,
Yep.
Mike, and
Very
on
cool.
my channel, Baron Orman Tagge's Fandom Legacy.
Yes.
That's right. That name is sticking and staying. So I was kind enough to give the other name back to a young fellow. So, of course, you can find me on Pop Talk Sundays and Wednesdays. And, of course, they didn't have a show today, unfortunately, but
Right.
every Sunday, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time on 24/7 Fusion Media, it's the Primetime Kings of Live Stream. And that's right. The Tower of Power himself, 24/7 Fusion Media, will be there, as well as the ever mysterious Vigilante Williamson, cruising in from the Hollywood Nights in his hot rod as New Bomb Turk and myself. So we do enjoy people cross-pollinating over there. No show today, though.
Right.
But next week. There's
Nice.
always next week. And tomorrow with the Phantom Hooligans.
Hooligans, yes.
Yes, and speaking of the Phantom Bulligans,
Hooligans, yes.
Bulligans.
Pacific, what do we call them? Pacific 4144444. They keep adding more letters.
No, it's Pacific
Crit
404
likes to
error.
He does. 4111444.
Pacific 414.
Yes.
So,
But yeah.
Cash, what's coming up on the Bulligans?
The hooligans, yes.
Hooligans.
Yes, Mike 441116. We've got Vermintide 2, and then there's going to be some more excitement coming up. I was thinking about doing Ratchet and Clank today, but I decided not to. I'm going to be working on some other stuff. But next week, Ratchet and Clank is coming. I've started already making a list of more games to play and talk about stuff and whatever. Working on some videos. So, but right now, Monday, Vermintide 2, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then after that, there's going to be more excitement. So yeah. And then if I'm not around my own channel, then I'll be here on Pop Talk. And if I'm not there, I will be on 5-4 Studios with Jace, Sparta Chris, and 540 Studios and Cajun. And yeah, so I'll be around. And if I'm not there for some reason, then I may pop up on Apion's open streams, his Treehouse streams, right? Yeah, you guys have an invite to that too, I think. So yeah.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Oh, cool.
But yeah,
Well,
no.
the last one, Apion, I wasn't able to make it because I was already sleeping.
Right. But yeah,
God,
there's going to be more excitement. I'm just wanting to make sure everything is working fine on OBS. Some of these games, well, actually, I shouldn't say some of them. Most of them are super loud. And then whenever Mike gets done with River City Girls 2, we'll both be playing that together. So that'll be a lot of fun.
And speaking of 4 and River City Girls, that is exactly what I'll be streaming Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, Wednesday will be the Wednesday edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. Then Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, Wednesdays is also at 6 p.m. Eastern for Pop Talk. But 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursday will be part 4 of Ace Combat 7. And if I happen to complete River City Girls Tuesday night and I experience issues with Ace Combat 7, yes, Cash, be on standby for River City Girls 2.
Ooh, standby. All right.
I might need to call you off the bench.
Okay, you got to call me off the bench, coach. All right.
Yes.
Call him in, coach. He's ready to play. The game.
That is what's coming up on PACIFIC414, and it will hopefully work on all 4 platforms, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. But I do want to say thank you to everyone who was here this evening. I know some of you might have been thrown off with the special start time, but when you want to get Leia Rose on, you make sure that you work with her on a time that she's going to be available for. And that's exactly what I did there. And I do want to thank Joseph Dredd for being here. Thank you, Joseph Dredd. Of course, Baron, thank you very much. Cash, thank you very much.
No problem.
Lester San Jose, thank you very much. Really appreciate it, brother. And also, I appreciate you gifting those 5 memberships.
Very cool, man.
Phil McCracken, thank you for being here, brother. I know we give each other a hard time, but you are a brother to me. Alan Copeland, thank you very much. The new Super Wrench. Well, he's actually a managing moderator. He's not just a standard moderator anymore. So he's a Super Wrench.
Dun, dun.
Oh my.
The Padawannabe, who was here with us yesterday for the first member stream on the channel. And for all members, you can catch that in the members playlist. So go back, watch, and I'll be sure to schedule the next member stream for everybody who became a new member tonight so you can all join. And that'll be for next month. Of course, we had Jed Sparks. Oops, come on, show it. Thank you.
There he is.
Jed Sparks. The Angry Canadian. Yeah, the Angry Canadians. I thought Canadians were nice folks. You know, they said sorry, eh? And
not sure about those French Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard me, YouTube. French? No, anyway.
And of course, we had Star Wars Theology. Thank you, Felix. And thank you for the $2 super chat. Greatly appreciate it. And we had Blazerhawk Darren, formerly known as Nova Vaughn. And
Quit changing your name. I can't keep up.
Seriously, man, just come up with a good name and stick with it. Nova Vaughn, watching you.
And Apollome's minion stopped by, and she was waiting in Nevada for the hurricane to pass in the Southern California area. Yes, Southern California does get hurricanes up its way on occasion.
Raid up caches. No, I can't.
I'm
And
not
we had
involved.
we had Tim's talk. Thank you, Tim. Good to see you. Of course, Prismatics was here. Good to see you as well. Real Wade Gaming Clips was here. And Lord Crit of Everest Productions with his silk top hat, his monocle, and his cane. Tipped in gold.
Riding on an orca. Yep.
Yes. And I also want to welcome the new members of Pacific 414. You're all 414s now. We have Phil McCracken, Captain Fandom Nerd, T-Gap Steve, Joseph Dredd, and Jason Fox of 540 Studios. Welcome to you all. Or, as I say a lot of the time, welcome one and all. So, ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude this edition of Pacific 414 Pop Talk. Thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw, whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, hit that like button. And regardless of what platform you're watching on today, whether it be YouTube, Kick, or Rumble, share out the stream and consider following or subscribing to the Pacific 414 channel that you are watching. Thank you all so very much. I can't say it enough. And until Tuesday, remember, I'm not just a baseball guy. I'm an all-around guy.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Pop Talk is where it's at, baby.
Have a great night and a great week, everyone.
Woo! Hey, it's payday soon. I get my 1 cent from Mike here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you too, Cash.